Brought to you by Phillips Tablets for relief of uncertain stomach caused by excess acid. Phillips Tablets. And now let's all play What's My Line? And now, live from New York, let's meet our What's My Line panel. First, the star of television who is now making a movie with Julie Andrews for Ross Hunter, a young lady who has just completed her 1,029th performance of Hello, Dolly, Miss Carol Channing.
And on my left, a world-famous San Franciscan, a Phi Beta Kappa from the chapter of the University of California, a linguist specializing in French, a renowned art collector and painter of abstracts, co-owner of newspapers and radio stations, the best-dressed resident on Beekman Place, a devoted father, steadfast friend, dedicated partner, creator of To Tell the Truth, I've Got a Secret, Password, Match Game, What's My Line, and many other diversions, the king of television game shows himself, our boss, Mark Goodson.
Thank you for your very modest introduction. First thing tomorrow, I'm going to talk to Bill Taubman about more money. I'm very happy tonight to be sandwiched between two great ladies of the theater. To my right, the original Hello, Dolly, and to my left, the indisputable My Fair Lady of Television, Arlene Francis.
Lovely. Well, let me see about Bennett. He's the honorary doctor of laws from Western Maryland College, is Bennett Cerf.
Dr. Francis, I presume?
Yes.
Hello, Carol.
Hello, Bennett.
Hello, boss.
Hello, Bennett.
Well, I was out in Milwaukee the other day at the West Federal Savings Bank, and a lady handed me a letter for John Daly that I think I should read to you. Here's what the letter says. We want you to know that our trained pig, Stanley, loves John Daly best of all the panel moderators on the air. When we tune him in, he jumps up on the sofa and oinks and grunts with joy until he signs off for the day. Please tell Mr. Daly to keep up the good work. Sincerely, a pig lover.
Oh,
Here is that man who attracts humans and animals indiscriminately, John Charles Daly.
Somehow I have a terrible feeling Bennett's been writing letters to himself. I may be wrong. I may be wrong. Carol, it's wonderful to see you there. And
Thank you.
Needless to say, to think that you come after all of this long run with Hello, Dolly, and give us a Sunday night is to give us much honor, and we thank you for it. And it's nice to have the boss there. I wondered who you were talking about for a while tonight, but I'm glad you got it straightened out. And I think to celebrate the fact that Mark is here, we ought to depart from normal procedures. So if you'll please put your masks on. We are going to have two mystery guests tonight. And we're going to start from scratch with one, so you have to be masked. I might also remind you that in this first instance, we will go to the other form of questioning. Ask one question at a time in turn moving clockwise. But now are the masks all in place?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
All right, if everybody's masked, let's meet our first mystery challenger. Will you enter and sign in, please? All right. You have been reminded, one question at a time, in turn moving clockwise, and we'll begin with Carol Channing.
Are you an actor?
Nope.
1 down and 9 to go, Mr. Goodson.
Are you in the field of entertainment at all?
Yep.
Ms. Francis.
Are you behind the scenes as a performer? Not as a performer, but do you perform behind the scenes of the theater or the picture business?
Yep.
Mr. Cerf.
Would you be either a director, a producer, or an author? Yep.
Miss Channing.
Would you be a producer?
Yep.
Mr. Good.
Pardon me, John.
Mr. Goodson.
Are you in the field of television, basically?
Nope.
2 down and 8 to go, Miss Francis.
Is a picture you have produced about to be released?
Nope.
What was
3
that?
down. Nope. 3 down and 7 to go, Mr. Cerf.
Have you ever had any connection with the show Hello, Dolly? Yep. Are you David Merrick?
Actually, as is now clear, Carol, this was a trick we were playing on you because Mr. Merrick.
Sorry, Mr. Merrick, I didn't get your magnetism.
But Hello, Dolly, Cactus Flower, Philadelphia, Here I Come, Marat Desad.
That's right.
Extraordinary career. And
As a matter of fact, John, there are only 2 theaters in New York he isn't going to have next year.
How did you get him so fast? We thought he was a motion picture producer.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
But I must say, judging from what I read, you have a lot of fun being a producer, too. Not only are you tremendously successful.
It's a wonderful game.
How's the running war with the critics? Is that more fun than anything else?
I'm ahead at the moment.
You're ahead. That it's fun.
It's fun.
Well,
Mr. Goodson, I want to congratulate you. 17 years. I don't think even Hello, Dolly will run that long.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you.
But, of course, if we had Carol, we could run another 17 years, you see.
Well, I'm sure you will.
So I hope we do, too.
Our box office prices are much lower than Hello, Dolly.
If I had Carol, I'd run another 17 years.
Nice.
Come back, come back.
Oh,
Nice
I'll be right back, Mr. Merrick. I'm just going for 4 months to make a movie. But I'll be back with you.
You said only 3 months.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, you've seen contracts negotiated. You're going to hear one negotiated right here before your eyes. That's good fun. Well, Dave, thanks very much for coming to see us, and congratulations on such wonderful... We'll have another contestant for you in just a moment after this. And now to meet another contestant, will you enter and sign in, please? Jenny. Goalie? Goalie. Is it Miss or Mrs. Golby?
Miss.
Miss Golby. And where are you from?
Sydney, Australia.
Sydney, Australia. Well, that's wonderful. I don't think we've had anybody from Australia. It's very nice to have you here. And may I present our panel? Miss Golby?
Is it Goby?
Golby.
Golby.
G-O-L-B-Y.
Miss
Right.
Golby?
Miss Golby, right. Now will you join me over here, ma'am? We'll let the audience in the theater and the audience at home know exactly what your line is. All right. We can tell you that Miss Golby is salaried and deals in a service, but there is a product very closely connected with the service, and we'll begin things with Mark Goodson.
Hello, Miss Golby.
How do you do?
You're from Australia?
Yes, Sydney, Australia.
I see. This product is connected with your service. Is it something which I might use?
Yes, sir.
Used by both sexes?
Yes, sir.
Is it something which could be found in the home?
Yes.
If I use this product, would it come in contact with my body?
Yes.
Other than my hands?
Yes.
Yes? Above the waist?
Yes.
Above the neck?
Yes.
Somewhere in the area of the face?
Yes.
My mouth?
Yes.
Would this go into my mouth?
Yes.
Doing beautifully, right? Yeah. Is it something which is therefore consumed? Is it either eaten or drunk?
Yes.
This is not. It sounds terribly fixed what I'm doing here. Is it liquid as opposed to solid?
It's liquid.
It's
Yeah.
liquid?
Mm-hmm.
I'm tired, Arlene. I'll pass it. Really? All right.
Go ahead, Mark.
It's a liquid that is drinkable. Is it correct?
Mm-hmm.
Is it have any alcoholic content?
Yes.
It does?
You know, it's too bad. We're going to be in color in the fall. It'd be nice if we were in color tonight. His face getting red. Come on, Mark.
This is an alcoholic product. It's a beverage. Is it a product that comes from the grape?
Yes.
Am I right so far?
Yeah.
I'm sorry to say I'm right. Well, is it a kind of wine?
Yes.
Do you have something to do with wine?
Yes.
Do you stamp it with your feet, my dear?
That's one down. Man, talk about long-distance runners. That's very good, Mark. 1 down and 9 to go. Arlene.
That's the only no you could get. Since jumping on the grape is out of fashion now. Do you have anything to do with the distribution of that wine?
No.
Oh, we have a small problem here, really. Do you mean in terms of moving it in bulk from one place to another?
Selling it.
That's very interesting. That doesn't help me at all. We will agree that in that general area, if with your permission, that there is a relationship,
But we have to find out what Miss Golby does other than sell the wine. Is that correct, Miss Golby?
Yes.
By the way, has it been established as just wine? Is it just one thing? I don't know.
Just wine. Wines and champagnes.
You got away with that one.
Well,
I think
are
just
you
for
a
that, we'll throw a few
representative?
cards over. A what? Bennett, what'd you say?
Taster.
Oh, throw some more cards over. Come on. Anybody want to make a guess? Come along, guess a few here. Come along, Carol, make a guess. Come along.
It's a service.
Yeah.
Service.
Yeah, I'm running out of cards. I ran out of cards. There you are. You were close, really.
Do you serve wine?
No, I'm a wine stewardess.
A wine steward. Sommelier.
Qantas Airlines?
In Australia?
No, I'm not. I work at the Menzies Hotel in Sydney, Australia. And we have people who are giving dinner parties. They come to me and they ask me what wines for certain dishes and certain meats they're having.
Oh.
And then they go to my wine store in the hotel and they buy the wine.
I mean, do you walk around the restaurant with a little train around your
Well,
neck and taste the wine?
in certain times I do. In the dining room I do
You
sometimes.
sure you never saw her in Australia?
No, but you can taste my wine anytime.
Now, one thing that will interest you is, because, you never think of it, actually, Australia evidently produces a great deal of wine because mostly Australian wine is what is consumed.
Yes.
So French wines are too expensive after that long run. I guess it's, 16,000 miles out there from Paris, isn't it? Something like
Quite
that?
a way.
Good 16,000.
They're producing everything in Australia now. There's been a great iron strike there. They've got more iron ore in Australia. They've discovered enough to keep the whole world supplied for the next 50 years.
At Iron
Isn't that
Knob,
right?
at Iron Knob in South Australia.
You'll be tasting that next.
Good for you, Bennett. Now, you see that Bennett picks up these little bits of information here and there? Big iron strike, he says, in Australia.
Is it true
When did they go out?
Is it true that in Australia there are 5 men for every woman?
No, that is true only in one town called Marlborough. And instead of having the guys hanging around on the corners looking for girls, they have the girls hanging around looking for guys.
Uh-huh.
What did you say the name Bennett is leaving town again? Well, I must say that it's very nice to have somebody from Australia. We have a large and enduring interest in your country, and I'm glad you could come and visit us, and I hope some of us get a chance to come down and visit you.
I hope so, too.
Thanks for coming to
Thank you, Mr. Daly.
We'll meet tonight's mystery guest in just a moment, but first, this message. And now the second special feature on tonight's program, the appearance of our second mystery guest, which requires that once again the panel blindfold themselves, and the blindfolds are all in place, panel?
Back on.
Good. Will you enter Mystery Challenger and sign in, please? Remember, again, we go to the other form of questioning, one question at a time, in turn moving clockwise, and we'll begin with Arlene Francis.
Would one find your name in the theater pages of the newspaper?
Yes.
Mr. Cerf?
Well, since Mr. Merrick was behind the scenes, may we assume that you usually perform on stage?
Yes.
Miss Channing?
Do you actually have a very low, deep voice? I take it for granted you have a low voice.
Yes.
Mr. Goodson?
I'm terrible at this mystery guest business. I don't know whether that's a male or female. Are you female?
No.
Oh,
One
good.
down and back to go. Arlene?
Are you at the present time appearing on Broadway?
Yes.
And no.
Bennett?
Does that mean there is more than one mystery guest?
Yes.
Miss Channing?
More than one.
That's dirty.
Are you in a long-run Broadway show right now?
Yes.
And no.
Mark Goodson?
Oh, well, is there are you both male?
Yes.
Arlene?
That's the first time we didn't get an and no. Does this mean that one of you is appearing on Broadway and the other one is associated with the person who appears on Broadway in some way?
Yes.
Mr. Cerf?
Are you father and son?
Yes.
Miss Channing?
Now, Bennett's got a clue to something. Son.
Oh.
What? Father and son. But the father is apparently not on Broadway, and the son is. The father's in the business end of it, and the son is on the stage.
I think you're wrong.
Oh? You think it's just the other way around, Bennett?
I think so.
Then, are you musical comedy, the one who's on the stage?
No.
2 down and 8 to go. Mark Goodson?
Is the father the one who's not in the Broadway show?
No.
3 down and 7 to go. Arlene Francis?
Well, I think Bennett has it. If the father is in the Broadway show and the son has been and is the son and is in motion pictures too and is the divine Peter Fonda, isn't it who you had in mind?
Sure.
It's Henry Fonda and Peter?
You're right. As we say out west, haw is in generation. one of the long-running successes of the year. And Peter, you've got your first starring role in is that right? First starring role with Nancy Sinatra.
Oh, this is the picture.
I mean, for the picture that's coming out in July.
Is in the same theater that I'm playing in now.
Where's Jane?
Wonderful.
Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
Yes and no. Now, Peter's in The Wild Angels and playing with Nancy Sinatra in his first movie starring role, which opens up at the end of July. So congratulations, sir.
Thank you.
But
More
Henry's
fun
in a
making movies
wonderful
or
picture.
playing on the stage?
Both ways.
You like it both?
Oh, yeah.
Well, you're going to have a wonderful life then. He does like them both, too. Huh?
I do them both, yeah.
You do them both? You like them both?
Are you staying in Generation, Henry?
No, he's in a
I'm leaving in 2 weeks. I start a picture in July.
I think it's a delightful show.
It is that.
Yeah.
It is that.
Henry, haven't you just opened in a picture, Hank?
Last week.
Last week.
Big Hand for a Little Lady, yes.
That's
But
right. My
more
mother
than that, on
adored
June
it.
30th, they're going to have the first Henry Fonda Festival. It's made, 40 pictures, right? And they're going to have a
68.
film festival, the Henry
68
Fonda
what?
Film Festival at New Yorker Theater, June 30th, right?
I don't know. I know there's happening, but I'm getting out of town.
You're getting out of town. You shouldn't. You should stay here. Thank you, sir, for getting over here
Thank you,
tonight.
John.
Thanks,
Good to
Peter.
see you.
Much success. Good to see you. Well, you've done very well so far tonight, panel. We'll have another contestant after this word. And now, a final contestant. Will you enter and sign in, please? Maria Kastner. Right, ma'am? All right. Is it Miss or Mrs. Kastner?
It is Mrs.
And where are you from, Mrs. Kastner?
Hillsdale, New York.
Hillsdale, New York. Nice to have you with us, Mrs. Kastner. May I present the panel? Will you join me over here? We'll let the audience in the theater and the audience at home know exactly what your line is. All right. Panel, we can tell you that Mrs. Kastner is self-employed and deals in a service. And we'll begin things with Bennett, Cerf.
Mrs. Kastner, where is Hillsdale about?
It is upstate New York.
It is. Is
It's
the service...
110 miles.
Ah. Is the service you perform, Mrs. Kastner, done for human beings?
Yes, it is.
Is it done for both sexes?
Yes.
Indiscriminately?
Yes.
When you perform the service, do you come into physical contact with the people you are serving?
Not necessarily. No, outside of handshakes, you know, that sort of casual thing.
mean-
1 down and 9 to go, Miss Channing.
It's done for human beings. Yeah. Now, do you go to the human beings?
No.
No, that's 2 down and 8 to go, Mr. Goodson.
Do you do anything creative?
You're using the creative in the
Writing,
artistic sense.
painting?
No, not in that sense. That's 3 down and 7 to go, Miss Francis.
Anyway, people come to you for your service, whatever it is.
That's right.
Do you work indoors?
Sometimes.
Do you have irregular hours? I don't mean that unkindly.
Yes, sometimes.
Do you have a place of business?
Yes.
Is there anything whatsoever instructive about what you do?
Sometimes.
Do you work for a non?
She works for herself.
Oh, you work for yourself.
Self-employed.
Is there anything in your work that requires detection of any kind?
No.
No, I'm afraid we're running out of time, so we're
Something
going to
to
flip all the
drive
cards.
you-
Take a guess.
Something to do with vehicles?
No. Recreation, upstate New York.
Swimming.
Mrs. Kastner owns and operates a dude ranch with her husband. The White Stallion Ranch. And it needs only to add the White Stallion Ranch in Hillsdale, New York, and it won't surprise you that Mrs. Kastner was a showgirl and a photographer's model, and now she teaches horses to do tricks. Thanks very much for joining us. Thank you very much for having you. Carol, you were a whiz, and Mark, you were a whiz, and I've used up all the time. With the panel's good permission, I will say the good nights for all of us and thank all of you for being with us on What's My Line?
What's My Line is a CBS television network production in association with Mark Goodson and Bill Todman. This is Johnny Olson speaking.